So today we're doing another wood art project. And as always, we start by tracing or gluing the pattern down on our wood, and then we head off to the scroll saw. But before I get too far, hi, I'm Donna. And on our channel, we like to show you woodworking projects that we have made and that have sold well for us, so you can make and sell them too, or use them as a hobby or whatever sort of wonderful DIY project you like to do. So like I said, I traced the pattern on. In this particular case, a lot of times I just glue it on. And as always, the patterns are available on our Etsy store if that's something you're interested in. And for this one, it's a little bit different. I'm going to trace the entire outline of the pattern in pine. It's about 1/2 inch pine. And then I'll cut this side piece off, and then I'm going to be cutting the top details out of a thinner walnut, which is this. It's about 1/4 inch. So I'll cut the detail of the top parts of the guitar out of the walnut, and then put that on top. So here you can see it's all cut out, and now we're going to move on to staining. Um, with the stain, I am going to use early American and golden oak, and I'm leaving the walnut as is. And so I'm using the early American on the long part of the guitar, and then the golden will be on the base of the guitar. And you'll see while I'm working on this, I end up snapping off the neck of the long arm of the guitar, and that's okay. I can just glue it back together when I put it together. It was a clean break, so it was easy enough to fix. And so you'll see, so I'm working with 3 wood tones, so I'm already starting to build that depth and dimension. And I wanted to mention, Chris and Sam have started their own channel where they basically fix all the stuff that breaks in life. And there'll be some dirt bike content, some fixing of dirt bikes, some maintenance of dirt bikes, as well as Chris fixes and flips lawnmowers for profit. So there'll also be videos of that when he's working on those projects. So we would love it if you would go and check it out. They'd really love your support. When you're a new channel on YouTube, it's really hard to get some traction. So if it's something you think you'd be interested, please go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, so now you can see we've got the pieces all glued together, and you could leave it here and it would be fantastic. You can see it's got all of the detail and it turned out really well. I was really pleased with how it turned out. I am going to take it a little bit further. I am a painter. I've been painting for many years, and that is one of my favorite parts of these projects. So I like to just really work on a bit more detail work using a little bit of paint. You can do that if you would like. It's easy. I'll show you here how to do it, but if you would rather not, you can leave it here and the project would be beautiful. So what I do is I take acrylic paint. I just use acrylic paint from the dollar store, and I have basically a brown and a black and a thin liner brush and a round brush. So I use watered down paint, and I'm laying down that dark color around the cut lines where there would be shadows naturally to really start to build that dimension. So I put it down using my liner brush. It's a thin watered down paint, and then I come in with the thicker brush and diffuse all those edges. So it really helps create the shadow. You don't want it to look like you're outlining. So you'll see I'll work on the edge where the guitar would turn down on that side and really richen up that shadow. And under I don't know the names of the guitar pieces, under this bean shaped piece, there'd also be a shadow under where I think the arm part goes. So I'll shadow under all of those pieces and really help create that depth. I really didn't do a whole lot to this one. It was A lot of it was done just by using the wood. It looked fantastic. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We would love to hear from you, and we will respond to any questions that you have. And I should mention, we do have a website, ideas2ididit.com. If you want to go check that out, we've got information about our process and our methods. There's a few different projects. And if you sign up for a newsletter, we will email you a free wood art project, so you could give it a try for free and see if it's something that you are interested in. We also have a brag board where you can upload pictures of your projects and things you've worked on, and we absolutely love seeing everybody's work. We're really trying to grow a community that's really positive and focused on DIYing and creating things yourself. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please go on over and check it out. We're also trying to build up some social media, but we're showing our age. We're new to social media, and so we're sort of trying to figure that one out as we go. But we do have a Facebook and an Instagram if that's something you're interested in as well. Okay, so the one thing I will mention here is when I was doing the hole in the middle of the guitar, I did take the brown and the black and I mixed it together to fill in basically like a half circle. And then I took black and I did a thin line around the edge of that with black and then diffuse that so it would really have that dark color. And then I did take some of that same dark paint and just go around the edges of the guitar and of the handle, and to really just give it an end to really just emphasize the shape. And then I did put the lines on the arm. I think they're called fret lines on the arm of the guitar, and just put little dots where the knobs would be. Um, I was thinking after I did this, I finished this off at our cottage. I wasn't at home. I think what would have been fantastic would have been to take a little bit of wire or maybe even nylon string and create the little strings. I think that would have looked fantastic on this. But I didn't have any access to it here at the cottage. So, but that is something I think I would try to do next time. I think it would really have just added that extra little touch to it. And you'll see once we're done, I'm going to show it to you both on a black background and a light wood background, because it really does change the look of the piece. And the finished pieces that I will show you are they're framed in the 2x4 framing method that Chris came up with, and we have a separate video on that. I'll link it in the description if you want to go check that out. You get to make a frame for right around $1, and they are fantastic. They look amazing, and they're a great way to finish off these pieces. So I really hope you enjoy this. And like I say, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We'd love to hear from them. And as always, we appreciate you so much. We appreciate you spending time with us and watching our content. We really do appreciate it. And we hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.